Maybe they should have just called this one 50 Shades of Prey. Old Fashioned is the name of the movie. It's about a man whose past has put him in a place where he has shut himself off from intimacy in dating and the real world, and how his world is shaken when a girl comes to town and wants to pursue a dating relationship with him. It is a faith-based filmed, or Christploitation flick, if you prefer, and I give it a little bit of grief, you know, kind of comparing it to coming out the same weekend as 50 Shades of Grey. But here's the interesting thing. They're kind of the same movie. Now, let me explain how a faith-based filmed and 50 Shades of Grey could be similar. They kind of talk about the same thing on opposite ends of the spectrum. They're both about a man who has shut himself off to real love and has rules and contracts about the way he will interact with women. One of them has left love to pursue lust. Another one of them has left love to pursue chastity. So even though they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, they're kind of about the same thing, about giving up the idea of intimacy in love. They're also the same in that audiences who go see them probably don't care if they're that well made or not. They're just going to see them because they're a fan. In this, 50 Shades of Grey, it's the case of the book. As far as this movie, it's Christians who, are going to love the movie because it says something that they love. Speaking of which, I actually like what this movie has to say as well. It's this really interesting message about how even as Christians, as people who put up all these rules and, try to do the right thing, how that in many ways can shut us off from true intimacy, and it puts up these walls between people when truly we could be pursuing right relationships with people. I found it very, very interesting in that way. I also have to say, this is another thing I appreciated about it, it takes place in the real world, which is nice. A lot of these faith-based films seem like they take place in this fantasy world where people are different and people don't have pasts, or, and everybody's the same and there's this homogeny to them. And this is not that way. This definitely takes place with real people in a real world, and it adds some authenticity to the proceedings. What would have added a little bit more authenticity would have been if the acting was any good, and it's not. And you know what? At the end of the day, it's covered a little bit because it's charming and there's some humor. So you're going to be laughing and you're going to like these people. And so that covers kind of some of those flaws in the acting. But it's hard to say it's a good or great movie when a lot of those typical kind of production flaws with a low budget film are there, kind of glaring and staring you in the face. It's better than I expected. I'll tell you that. It is much better than I expected for all those flaws and for those foibles. Overall, I'd say Old Fashioned is one with a message that I loved and performances I could deal with because of what it said, and also because of the charm and kind of the humor that was there. Overall, I'd probably go around somewhere close to a B-. So thanks for checking it out. As always, hit subscribe if you want to subscribe to the channel. I very much appreciate that. I also put some reviews over here that I've done recently, also out this week, as mentioned, 50 Shades of Grey, the partner film to Old Fashioned. I was probably, can I just say this? I'm guessing I was the only person in the entirety of America that did a back-to-back viewing of Old Fashioned and 50 Shades of Grey this past weekend. That was my Valentine's Day weekend. So anyways, I'll put that review over there, as well as Kingsman, The Secret Service. I think you can check those out here at Your Movie Friend. Check out the website, yourmoviefriend.com, if you like. And as always, I will give you 5 seconds extra to hit subscribe. Here we go. You got 5 seconds. Ready, set, go.